Have you ever thought about how white-black in Magic can be turned into dubstep? Wob, 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 wob.
Need some spicy Time Spiral Remastered reprints, maybe some cool old border cards? Well, you can pre-order Time Spiral Remastered now from our sponsor Card Kingdom by heading over to cardkingdom.com. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Budget Magic. And this week, we're heading to our new post-ban Modern format to mess around with a sweet Kaldheim tribe that hasn't really gotten the love it deserves in Standard. That's right, it is finally time to play some Clerics. Is Modern the format where Clerics can shine? Well, let's talk about our sweet budget Cleric deck. Jump into some games and find out. Alright, so here is our budget Clerics deck, and really, we kind of have two plans that are actually pretty synergistic and intertwined. So plan number one, Cleric life gain shenanigans. Righteous Valkyrie, Cleric gains life, good payoff for getting up to 27 life, making 2/2s, also Speaker of the Heavens, Cleric, lifelink. If we get to 27, it makes 4/4 Angels, which trigger Righteous Valkyrie, help us win the game, and then Veto Throat of the Dusk Rose rewards us for gaining life by just draining our opponent out of the game directly. So if the board gets clogged up, we can't actually finish the game by attacking. Veto can get the job done with our life gain stuff. To support this plan, we got some sweet old Clerics. Soul Word, Soul Attendant, gaining life when creatures come into play. Clerical Life Mod kind of does the same thing, but only for our Cleric, but makes up for only triggering our creatures by becoming a big threat on its own, growing as we gain life each turn. And then we have plan 2, which is our sacrifice synergies. Path to Exile just gets rid of anything cheaply, but Priest of Forgotten Gods lets us sacrifice our creatures to draw cards, kill our opponent's creatures, drain our opponent a little bit, and it works really well with Tabrex for one. Tabrex, as our Clerics die, draws us cards, it becomes big, it's lifelink, so then it'll work with stuff like Veto and our life gain package. And then we also have Archfiend's Vessel, a Cleric that wants to be in the graveyard, maybe by Priest of Forgotten God sacrificing it, so we can come back as a 5/5 demon. We can get it back with Aura, which gives us some grindy value as our Clerics die. We just keep reanimating cheaper ones, some nice value loops, and then Unearth gets back everything in our deck except Aura for just 1 mana, and Archfiend's Vessel, if it comes back, gonna be a 5/5, which gives us a backup plan for winning the game. And because like Aura, Archfiend's Vessel, Taborax eventually, all have lifelink, they work with the life gain plan as well. So it's kind of some nice interdeck synergy there. As far as the mana base, typical budget stuff. Sideboard, most interesting stuff, Battletide Alchemist, another Cleric that's really good in some matchups, preventing damage to us based on the number of Clerics we control. So if we get this down against like Burn or something, I don't know how they ever kill us if we keep a few Clerics. Otherwise, Path for aggro, Duress, Damping Sphere for combo with control, and that is budget Clerics. That's our budget Magic deck for this week. So let's jump into some games, see if the power of some sweet new Clerics like Righteous Valkyrie and Aura in Veto can combine with the foundation of the life-gaining old Cleric, Soul Ward, Soul Attendant, to make for a really sweet deck in Modern. So let's jump in our game, see it in action. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit with a wrap-up. Alright, budget Magic time. We are Clericing in Modern this week, and hopefully we don't draw any more lands, but this hand's okay. Well, Concealed Courtyard and Soul Attendant. Go. Yeah, as long as we don't just brutally flood out here, this hand's reasonable. Booted. Bloodstained Mire. Cracks it. Sacred Foundry. Untapped. Goblin Guide. We gain a life. Well, we do have a lot of things that should be good against Burn. Opponent gets in. Hits us. Top card, Archfiend's Vessel. Well, we will play a land. Play Archfiend's Vessel. Gain a life. Back up to 20. Hit you for 1. Pass the turn. About it. Yeah, our life gain should be pretty good against Burn. Bloodstained Mire. And if our opponent ends up having to cast bolts on like Vetoes and Auras, that's probably still good for us. Or at least not horrible for us. Opponent, combat, attacks. Top card is. Alright, well, gets a land out of the way, so that is still helpful. We'll take it, down to 18. Light up the stage. Alright, opponent cracks Bloodstained Mire. Snoo Covered Mountain. And Eidolon. Alright, well, we gain a life. We are going to lose some life. Play a land. Play Veto. Take 2, gain 1. This does kind of mean that our opponent's Eidolon's hurting them worse than it's hurting us for the most part, because we are gaining life thanks to the Soul Attendant. Opponent, Lightning Bolt. bolt on veto. Okay, combat, attacks. Top card is Archfiend's Vessel. I'm kind of tempted to double block. Actually, I think we take it for now. Sure. Down to 14. Opponent. Skewers. Soul Attendant. Sure. Down to 10. Land. Passes. Well, we will play Plains. Aura. Combat. Hit ya. Down to 9. We go up to 15. So now our opponent needs another bolt to kill the Aura, and that still lets us get back a veto or a Soul Attendant. Well, let's see how many bolts you got. What it fails? Opponent also has a finite number of spells they can cast under this Eidolon. Lava Spikes. Sure. Opponent goes to 6, we go to 12. Opponent goes to combat. No attacks. Oh. Do we win by doing things or by doing nothing? That's the question. Let's play the pathway on black. So we can attack. Our opponent can chum. I think that's fine. I think we attack. Like, our opponent's a little bit Eidolon locked. If they double block, we can kill the Goblin Guide, keep the Eidolon, get back veto. If they single block to get rid of the Eidolon, then we're free to go Soul Attendant, Archfiend's Vessel, and we probably still win. Opponent, Goblin Guide. Okay. We're at 15. Yeah, let's pass. I mean, I don't know why our opponent's valuing this Eidolon. I feel like this Eidolon's killing our opponent. Boros Charm hits us. Sure. Down to 11, but our opponents can only cast 2 more spells. 1 more spell, unless they have random life gain. Like, this is the last spell they can cast. Boros Charm, sure, hits us. And opponent, yeah, locked under the Eidolon, and we got, oh, they targeted themselves. All right, that works. All right, so we have tech. Will it work? I don't know. Battletide Alchemist is our tech for this matchup. Battletide Alchemist in, Path to Exile's in. We will go down, 1 Speaker of the Heavens. We'll go down Tabarax. We'll go down 1 Aura and 1, let's go down 1 Priest. All right, try it like that. Well, I mean, that went well. Life gain is pretty good against burn, apparently. Cleric power. Ooh, 2 pass. All right. Well, we're not going to lose to creatures easily. I mean, of course our opponent can shoot down our stuff because they have a million burn spells, but hopefully that's fine. Battletide Alchemist seems almost unbeatable against our opponent's deck if we can get it down. Opponent combat hits us. 19. Well, play a Plains, play a Soul Attendant. Go. All right, no more lands. We got all the lands we need to cast everything we want to cast. Opponent. Searing Blaze. Gonna take down our Soul Attendant. Yeah, down to 16. Opponent. Hits us. More lands, unfortunately. Well, Priest of Forgotten Gods. Go. No more lands, deck. No more lands. Please. Please. Anything but lands. Opponent. Combat. Attacks. Well, we're going to take it. Could use some life gain. Down to 13. Eidolon. Opponent passes. Well, we will path the Eidolon. Drop to 11. Plains. Go to combat. Hit ya. Pass the turn. Ooh, 11's not a lot, though. It's not a lot. We know our opponent's got all action in hand because they were not playing spells last turn. Opponent hits us. Attacks. Well, Path to Exile Part 2. All right. No lands, yes creatures. Battletide Alchemist the most. Opponent. Rest in peace. Sure. Oh, I'm glad they brought that in. Ooh, that's not bad. So, Soul Warden. Soul Attendant. Back up to 9. Pathway on white. Yeah, hit you for 1. Some temptation to leave back the Priest, but I think this is fine. All right, opponent, what do you got? Hopefully more rest in pieces. All right, Sacks the Canyon. Draws a card. Don't really mind our opponent playing creatures because they're going to gain us 2 life. Opponent passes. Skull cracks so we can't gain life this turn. Down to 6. I mean, I guess it's also possible that our opponent just has enough burn to go with the Skull Cracks to get us. Gain some life, but not really. Hit you for 2. Like, 2 bird spells and our opponent does win here. Opponent goes to 8. Well, you got 2 bolts? Okay. Well, that means we're not dead immediately. Inspiring Vantage. Passes. Oh, is this another Skullcrack? Path on the Cleric. Is it worth sacking? We'd also have to sack a Soul Attendant, but we would draw a card. I think we're going to. Sack. Hit you to 6. Okay. Cleric of Lifespawn again. Come on. Another cheap Cleric. Well, Caves. Well, play Cleric of Lifespawn. Go up to 7. Grow the Cleric. Hit ya. Wow, this is so close. This is ridiculously close. Put it to 5. Pathway. On black. Go. Oh boy. Come on. No Boros Charm Lightning Bolt. No Boros Charm Lightning Bolt. About it. Lava Spikes. Oh my god, they had exactly it. Oh, well, we get to run it back and we get to play first this time. Whew. They had the Boros Charm Lightning Bolt. That is exactly what we needed our opponent to not have. Like, almost card for card. We're going to go down another Speaker of the Heavens. Seems like it's going to be hard to get to 27 against Burn. And as a 1-1, meh. Probably rather have the Aura to get through our opponent's removals. Well, let's see. We're on the play. Oh, that was really close. Really close. That Skullcrack was huge for our opponent. That Skullcrack, I think, is what won them the game. Well, this hand is horrible, even though it has all of our best cards, so we will maul. Well, this I guess we keep. Go, Soul Attendants. We have 1 land in Infinite Soul Attendants. So we're gonna need more lands. That's number 1. The good news is we do have life gain. We got life gain for days while we're waiting. Well, usually we're begging not to draw more lands. This time we're gonna beg to draw lands, especially a black source. About it. It's by your advantage. Show us a Goblin Guide. Lightning Bolts the Soul Warden. Well, we'll play a land. Soul Attendant. And another Soul Attendant. Pass the turn. Well, we draw a land. It's not a black source, but it's still a land. About it. Cracks. Snow-covered mountain. Eidolon. We gain a life. Come on, black mana. 2 life, actually. Well, let's Soul Attendant. Gain some life. Pass the turn. We might actually end up pathing a Soul Attendant if our opponent has removal for 1 to get a black source. About it. Combat. No attacks. Passes. Alright. Well, that's more black mana. Pass the turn. Or not black mana. Oh, we need a black source so badly. Oh, thank you, opponent. Okay. That works. That works very well. Well, we get to keep our path and we get a black source for the future. That was as much as we could hope for. About it. Untaps. Searing plays. Gonna hit Soul Attendant. Okay. Opponent hits us. Down to 20. We untap. Well, play Cleric of Lifespawn. Go to 18. Back up to 19. Grow the Cleric. Soul Attendant. Go to 17. This feels like a decent matchup. Opponent. Pass the Cleric. Well, we'll grab a black source. Still at 18. Hit you. Down to 11. Opponent. Desperation Sack. Land. Staying aggressive. Hits us. Down to 16 for a moment. Passes. Well, go to combat. Attack ya. Opponent. Down to 9. Well, Archfiend's Vessel. Opponent Skullcracks. Sure. But opponent's down to 7. Opponent's down to 7, which means they don't have that many more spells they can play with this Eidolon out. And they can't really play creatures, or else we gain a bunch of life. Opponent. Goblin Guide. Okay. We gain some life. Back up to 13. Opponent. Attacks with both. Top card. Land out of the way. I mean, I think we take, down to 9. Opponent passes. Well, go to combat. Attack you. Down to 2. So our opponent cannot cast spells. We will reanimate Soul Warden. Go back up to 10. And I mean, this should just do it. Our opponent's they're locked. They're Eidolon locked. Apparently drawing a million Soul Attendants and Soul Wardens and Cleric of Lifespawn pretty good against Burn. Opponent cracks. Is this the... No. All right. Yeah. Land. Are we going out on our own terms by casting something? Yup. Woo! All right. Go Clerics. I mean... I feel like that is a pretty decent matchup for our deck because, oh my god, we're going to draw 2 Righteous Valkyries in a row. I mean, I feel like that is a very good matchup for our deck, I will say. But we will accept. We will accept the victory against Burn. I mean, there are a lot of Burnish decks in Modern at the moment, and maybe being good against Burn is a good place to be for your budget deck. Sweet. All right. Ooh. Budget Magic time. We are drawing no landers with some Clerics in Modern. Ooh, this hand's actually pretty good. Let's see. How are we going to do this? We kind of want double black. So I think we put the plains to the bottom. So I think what we want to do here, assuming nothing goes horribly wrong, turn 1 Soul Attendant, turn 2 Priest, turn 3 Archfiend, sack, unearth, make a 5/5? Oh, does this change our plans? The problem is Lava Dart. Lava Dart's insanely good against our deck. We could just path, but then that sets us way off. Well, all right, we'll play Cave. Let's play Cave and pass. See what our opponent does. Probably path something. Swift Spear. Oh, if our opponent doesn't have a land. Oh, if they're on 1 land, then we can't path. That would be a bad idea. All right. Well, play this on black. Oh, Priest of Forgotten Gods. Okay. Well, that's not exactly what we're hoping for. Opponent probably has a Bolt. Yeah, with our opponent keeping a 1-lander, I think pathing is just too painful. Opponent, combat, please don't kill it. Hits us. Yeah, no bolt, no bolt, no bolt, no bolt. All right, no bolt yet. Light up the stage. Digging for lands. Whiff, maybe? Oh, whiff. Okay. Well, now we should be able to have a turn. So we get to, play the plains. Play Soul Attendant. Play Archfiend's Vessel. Gain a life. Sack them both. Get rid of a creature. Ooh, more lands. Okay. Unearth on Archfiend's Vessel. Get a 5/5. Pass the turn. Well, would have been nice to draw a non-land there, but a 5/5 is still pretty good against our opponent's deck, especially with them being a smidge mana screwed. Opponent, Soulscar Mage. And, come on, pretty much any creature. Ooh, Aura, interesting. That is even better than any creature, I think. Well, play Aura, go to combat, hit you for 5, down to 10. Big lifelinker, Priest active just in case, and opposed scoops it up. Okay, well, our opponent had a risky keep and got a little bit unlucky, but we did punish them. Oh, okay. So, paths in. I think this is a Battle-Tide Alchemist matchup. I think it is. I think we get on Speaker of the Heavens. I don't think we can cut the Soul Warden and Soul Attendants, but we do want to minimize as much as possible stuff that just straight up dies to Lava Dart, because Lava Dart is really good against X1s. So, Vessel's fine because we want the 5/5, really. Maybe we go down an Aura. Aura, it does have lifelink, but it is a little slow. Go down an Aura and a Taborax. Let's try it like that. Battle-Tide Alchemist seems absolutely hilarious if we can if we could get it with a couple of dorks on the battlefield. Well, all right, we'll keep this. We got some life gain. No removal, but our mana's fine. Opponent, Mountain. Soulscar Mage. Well, play a land. Archfiend's Vessel. Unearth is actually a pretty great draw, because now we can block and just get that back as a 5/5. About it. Sprite Dragon. Combat. Attacks. Well, we'll block. Opponent... Sure. Gonna start growing the Sprite Dragon. Now play a Plains. Get back. Vessel is a 5/5. Pass the turn. Unfortunately, the Soulscar Mage does mean our opponent can potentially shrink the demon down with burn spells, but opponent, Lava Darts. And light up the stage. Multiple lands. Opponent combat. Now, this die... Okay, they both lose to Lava Dart. Sure, I guess we just gotta take it. Ugh, Lava Dart. That's not great. Not great. Yeah, these are the draws that our opponent's deck can get off to, and they are pretty fast. Opponent sacks the land of Lava Dart to grow the dorks. Yeah, this is just so much damage. And more. Well, oh my god, Lava Dart Part 20. What a hand. What a hand for our opponent. Now that was a really good hand for our opponent. We'll play Righteous Valkyrie, pass the turn. But I'm not sure any of this matters now. Like, I think our opponent just got us with the free spell hand. Too many free spells for us to keep up with. Well, pass the turn. Gotta stay on defense. We're gonna have to start chump blocking Sprite Dragons, which feels horrible about it. Sacks the land. And a Swift Spear. So I think if our opponent attacks with everything... Oh, no attacks. Interesting. Okay. Well, we will Righteous Valkyrie. Go up to 7. Play the land. All right. This gives us a bit of hope, at least. Back up to 7. Swift Spear. Opponent. Lava Spikes. Triggers the dorks. This shouldn't kill us, though. Land out of cards. No mountain to sack. Okay. Opponent. Attacks with everything. We will block. Down to 2. Path would be great. Concealed Courtyard. Well, we will play... Taborax is a better chump blocker. So if we play Veto, we gain 6 up to 8. But then we're going to have to chump block Sprite Dragon with a Righteous Valkyrie. Well, let's play Taborax. Go up to 6. Oh, if we could draw a single Path to Exile, then I actually really like where we're at in this game. Like, a single Path to Exile, getting rid of this Sprite Dragon, suddenly means we're in wonderful shape. Well, we go up to 6, thanks to Taborax. Concealed Courtyard, go. Gotta stay on D. Really want Taborax to stick around. Opponent gets a redraw off of this Islet. Opponent sacks it. What do they find? Another Swift Spear. Well, we will block with Taborax. Come on, big draw. More lands. Ugh, the flood is on. Oh, play Veto. Go up to 12. Hit you down to 12. Caves of Koilos. Go. Oh, for one of a removal spell. Pass the turn, stay on defense. What does our opponent find? Another Swift Spear. And Soul Guide Lantern to trigger Prowess. That's a big draw. That's a huge draw. Opponent combat. Yeah. Oh, that's probably gonna beat us. So we block. Oh, why can we not draw a path? Oh my goodness! No, Magic Gods. Magic Gods. Oh, the flood. We had it too. We had this deck dead to rights. We have just massively flooded. Oh, we had him. Oh. Opponent had a great draw true. All the free spells, double lava spikes, a million 1-drops. Opponent had exactly what they wanted. We've just flooded our way out of this game, unfortunately. Opponent combat. Attacks. No, we will block and block. Yeah, we're just losing too much now because we haven't, because we've drawn all lands. Block. Go to 4. Opponent goes to 9. Clerics of Life Bond, not gonna get it done now. Oh, we should have had that. We should have had that. Well, run it back. Oh. Yeah, we just didn't draw any of the good cards in that matchup. We put up a good fight with the Righteous Valkyries to try to stabilize, but we needed to follow that up with more creatures to gain more life, and we just hit land, which, that's Magic. Sometimes you draw all the lands. All right, well, we get to play first. Let's see how this hand looks. No, I mean, I guess we keep it. I'm not super happy about it since we don't have black mana, which is awkward, but when you play budget decks, you got to deal with imperfect mana because you don't have 12 fetch lands to get shock lands. Opponent, Spirebluff Canal. Soulscar Mage. Well, we get to gain a life. Ugh, another Plains is not what we were hoping for. We are going to need to draw black mana for this to do anything. Well, play the land past the turn. Opponent, Wooded Foothills. Monastery Swiftspear. We gain some life. Up to 24. Tormod's Crypt. Okay. Not very good. Well, do we draw black mana? That is the only question at this point. Mountain. There's the Lava Dart. Yep. Well, I mean, opponent has... They got the dream again. Yep. Goes to combat. Well, I think we are already 2 black mana or bust. Like, we lose if we don't draw black mana. Opponent gets in, hits us. Down to 18. We draw black mana. Black card. Oh, not like this. Opponent, down to 18. Pass the turn. Opponent. Lava Spike. Grows the Dorks. Hits us. And light up the stale. Opponent. Yeah. They always have it. And we always have the mana screws. Or floods. Opponent. Soul Guide Lantern. Alright, so opponent's just playing any random card that can trigger prowess. Sure. Opponent goes to combat. Hits us. Well, I mean, I guess we path. Well, do we draw black mana? Yeah. We know Sprite Dragon's coming. We go down to 11. We draw black mana. It is super duper ultra painful, but it is black mana. We gain a life. Well, we'll see. We know our opponent has Sprite Dragon. We know they have a free spell in the graveyard. So we are definitely still not in a good spot by any stretch. Having to take off last turn because of the 3 planes was real painful. Potentially game losing. Put it. Gonna run out the Sprite Dragon. Gonna grow the Sprite Dragon. We do get a life. Back up to 12 for a second. Opponent. Sacks Soul Guide Lantern to draw a card. Plays a fetch land. Cracks the fetch land. Steam Vents. Untapped. Opponent. 2 cards in hand. Free spell in the graveyard. Goes to combat. Attacks. No blocks. Opponent's going to Cast all the free spells, kill our priest. Yeah, well, that's a little disappointing. Opponent, another lava dart. Down to 6. We draw. Righteous Valkyrie. Many scenarios where that would be good. I don't think this is enough here, though. Well, play Righteous Valkyrie, go up to 7, pass the turn. We're probably going to have to chump with it is the problem. Opponent. Because we know there's another lava dart, and that lava dart can take down Soul's Attendant, and then we're forced to jump with Righteous Valkyrie, and then we can't win. Oh, wow, this was disappointing. You could see the power of our deck in the matchup, and boy, if the Magic Gods smiled just a tiny bit more, I think we win it easily. Meh. Well, on to the next one. You would assume the Magic Gods would like the Clerics, since they're kind of like holy or whatever, but not this match. All right. Budget Magic time. We are moderning this week with Clerics. Playing some Orzhov, Unearth, or Cleric shenanigans, and it's fine. I mean, our mana's decent. We got 1-drops. We'll keep it. Probably depends on what our opponents do. Like, in our perfect world, we could maybe get Aura down before we start sacrificing too much, but we can, like, sacrifice and then unearth and do some things like that. We'll keep this. All right, opponent, Shivan Reef. And, are they storming? Oh my god. Okay, that might be bad news. Well, play this on white. Soul Warden, go. Opponent, Ops. They could be playing Blitz. The bad news about Blitz is Lava Dart's really good against a bunch of X1s. Opponent, Ops again, probably looking for a land. Puts it to the bottom. Do they find a land? No. Well, that's good news. Let's play Cave. Play Priest of Forgotten Gods. Gain a life. Hit you for 1. I mean, if our opponent can't find a land, this Priest is nice too, because it means if they do like Manamorphose out Stormwild Entity, we can actually deal with it. On the other hand, if they're just trying to set up Storm and they need a land to Storm, then we're going to lose. And that might be what's happening. Wow. Oh, okay. We're going to assume our opponent's storming. That's going to be our assumption. We're going to bring in Duresses. We're going to bring in Damping Spheres. We're going to go down 1 Unearth, go down Taborax, a little slow and grindy. I mean, maybe we're wrong. It's possible we're wrong and it's not Storm, but we're going to assume that it is Storm. Keep the vetoes. Maybe go down 1 speak. Man, maybe we go on both Speaker of the Heavens. Maybe Speaker's just a bit slow. Bring in Duresses and Damping Spheres and cross our fingers. The bad news is, if it is Blitz and our opponent is blitzing with Surum. Ooh, I think we mulligan this. If it is Blitz, this sideboard plan's bad for us. All right, well, we'll keep. Put a Swamp to the bottom. I mean, well, we got a Damping Sphere. Opponent. Surum Visions. Sleight of Hand is what makes me think it's Storm. Well, combined with the Mana Base, but Sleight of Hand is a card that I don't think Blitz plays, but Storm definitely plays. Well, land and Soul Attendant, go. Once a Brawl comes down, then we'll know. Shivan Reef, opponent, passing. Sleight of Hand. I think we're going to be a tiny bit greedy and run out 2 1-drops. And then try to Damping Sphere the next turn. It does mean it's, like, theoretically possible that we lose, but Soul Attendant. Always yes, always yield. Gain a life. Archfiend's Vessel. Gain some life. Hit ya. And now we got Righteous Valkyrie to come down and hopefully pump our team and let us close out this game quickly. All right, let's not die this turn. All right, so it is Storm. There's Baral. Well, not impossible our opponent can go off with 1 mana. Storm has done it before. About it. Ritual. Manamorphose. Also a ritual. And broken. Storm is like the fairest deck to use Manamorphose, honestly. About it. Passive Flames. Well, I guess we probably should play Damping Sphere. Manamorphose. Sure. Opt. Yeah. Do the top. Boo. Another Manamorphose. Once we see Gifts, then we scoop. Gifts is when it becomes deterministic. Although, really, our opponent's generated so much value here that I would be surprised if we can get back in it from this point. Ugh. Manamorphose is so good. Yeah, Ritual. That draws a card, somehow. Surum Visions. Opponents cast like 20 spells and they have more cards in hand than when they started. Ritual. Well, famous last words. I guess I should have played the Damping Sphere. I mean, in our defense, wow. Okay. Well, there's hope. There's hope somehow. So we will play a land, play a Soul Attendant. Okay, well. I guess we win. Our opponent has like 20 spells and then scooped. I guess they spent all their resources and ended up drawing a bunch of lands and fizzled. And then they spent their Echoey Truth out of frustration on Soul Attendant for no reason, which means Damping Sphere is probably going to stick. Well, go Clerics, I guess. That was a weird match against Storm. Our opponent did not do much of anything, but... Well, when you're playing budget, you'll take it. You'll take wins however you can get them, and we will accept the Storm Fizzle. Sweet. All right, budget Magic time. We are Clericing in Modern, and it's been fine. Good, even, booted, Swamp, and Inquisition. You can take our Archfiend's Vessel. We're mostly okay with that. Yeah, Righteous Valkyrie. Makes sense. Booted. Basic Swamp into Inquisition is interesting. Could be like, 8-rack, potentially. I mean, I guess it could just be, it could be a lot of things. But Basic Swamp is not the most common opening for Inquisition. Alright, maybe it's like Jund. Opponent plays a land, passes. Please not land. It's a land. Well, go to combat, hit you. Pass the turn. Yeah, no more lands. No more lands. No moss. No moss, please. Opponent. Blood Crypt. Tapped. Alright, so definitely Jund. Raging Ravine. Opponent. Passes. Well, let's go attacking. Hit ya. Down to 17. Caves of Koilos. Cleric of Life Spawn. Go. Alright, opponent's got a Fatal Push. Well, this aura could be decent at least. Opponent. Ooh, Renin 6. Ugh. You know what's good against a bunch of ones? That's a planeswalker by the name Renin 6. Yeah, snipes. About it. Passes. Well, play the pathway on... I don't even know if it matters anymore. White. I guess we just run out Aura, which at least does not die to Renin 6. Well, Aura, get back, Righteous Valkyrie, Blood Crypt, Vern Catacombs, cracks it, Seasoned Pyromancer, discards some lands, draws some cards. It'd be nice to get this Renin 6 off the battlefield, but I don't know how likely that is. We draw even more lands. They just keep coming. The never-ending land sequence. Well, gain some life, hit the Renin 6. That's been a lot of lands. Many. Opponent. Undeps. Well, what do you got, opponent? We gotta get rid of the Renin 6, because this Renin 6 is just draw an extra card each turn, and draw an extra card each turn is tough to outgrind. Opponent draws an extra card. Renin 6 gets it back, draws an extra card. Inquisition. Well, I mean, I guess we path the Pyromancer, because we're gonna lose it anyway. Yeah, just more lands. Do they have removal? If we can actually kill a Renin 6, then I'll feel at least okay about where we're at. Please not another land. Well, Soul Warden. Technically not a land. I'll go to combat. Attack Renin 6. Kill Renin 6. Soul Warden. 25. 2 life away. We're 1 cleric away from pumping our team, which would be nice. Opponent. Draws an extra card. Yeah, boy. Opponents drawing 8 more cards than us with their Jund midrange deck. I guess 2 of them were the Seasoned Pyromancer looting, but still, we were just getting way out card advantage at the moment. Opponent. Oh, it's a Renin 6. Imagine that. Oh my god, and they also drew an Abrupt Decay. Oh my goodness. And we draw Soul Attendant. Oh, this beats us though. We can't keep up with the card draw. Like, that's the problem. We cannot keep up with the amount of cards our opponent's drawing with this Renin 6. It's like our opponent has a Howling Mind, but we don't get to draw cards. Alright, yeah. And we're just gonna concede now. I mean, we can't beat our opponent drawing 2 cards a turn when we don't get to draw any number of cards a turn. We'll bring in another Aura. I guess I assume they're playing creatures in their deck. So I guess we probably want paths. Maybe on an Archfiend's Vessel because they got Fatal Pushes. Yeah, I mean, try it like that. So I think the challenge is, oh no, we can't keep that. Well, okay. This is more reasonable. I mean, we're probably going to get absolutely picked apart by discard and whatnot, but this is a reasonable 6. So I think the challenge is we got to keep the Renin 6 off the battlefield. Like, we can't beat that card advantage engine if our opponent can keep it going for multiple turns. Opponent, Vern Catacombs. Passes. Well, another land. Go to combat. Hit ya. Down to 19. And Cleric of Life's Bond. At least a card that doesn't die to Renin 6. Although it does die to many other things, like Fatal Push Lightning Bolt. Opponent, Catacombs. Cracks it. Overgrown Tomb. Tapped. Opponent. Black Cleave Cliffs. And passing. Well, play a land. And Righteous Valkyrie. Pure E-Combat to grow the Cleric of Life's Bond. Gain some life. Grow some dorks. Hit ya. I mean, we're off to a good start. Like, this is not a bad start. Opponent has Assassin's Trophy. Well, I guess we gotta take another plane so we can play Soul Warden. Opponent down to 17. Well, we will Soul Warden up to 24. What do you got, opponent? What do you got? Opponent's got 7 cards in hand though, and we got one, and it's a plains. At least it's a sweet lightning bolt plains, but it's still just a plains. About it. Colligan's Command. Well, at least it's just the planes we're discarding. Cleric. Big Cleric. Cleric big enough to turn on Righteous Valkyrie. 3 toughness or more. Please not a land. We draw. It's a land. Alright, well, hit ya. Boy, that was our chance. That was our chance. About it. What did Foothills cracks it? One of the cards I really wanted to play in this deck, but we couldn't because of opponent spins into a Collective Brutality that can kill our Soul Warden. One of the cards I really wanted to play in the deck, but we couldn't because of budget, was Aghadim's Awakening. That would be very nice flood out protection. Also, the other card that, oh my goodness, would make the deck so much better is Castle Lockwane. But Castle Lockwane still leaves us short, doesn't it? But Castle Lockwane, the problem is we just don't have the right dual lands. Because we're on a budget mana base, our dual lands are like a Pathway, a Caves of Koilos, etc. So we don't have the right dual lands to make it come into play untapped, and it's also like somewhat expensive. But those are 2 cards that I think would greatly help with the flood out. Westfall Abbey is another cool upgrade possibility. It actually makes Clerics. But yeah, that's like $20 now for some reason. So, but I think like some of the games that we've seen when things go poorly, essentially what happens is we just draw way too many or way too few lands and can't recover. I think that is a issue that in non-budget form, or even like not like $1,000 modern deck form, but even in just like slightly upgraded form, I think that is an issue that is pretty easy to fix. Well, hit ya. Yeah, so another land off the top. Definitely not what we were hoping for. Opponent, gonna get to start gaining life with Clothis. Eats a creature. Dumping Grounds. Tapped. And Renin 6 joins the party. At least there's no card draw land in the graveyard at the moment. About it. Liliana. Yeah. Well, sack this. Draw a card. Grow Taborax. Ooh, land. Yeah, hits us. Down to 13. Well, we will unearth on Righteous Valkyrie. Hit our opponent. I mean, I think we just got to keep attacking our opponent and hoping that we can squeak it out. So the problem is... opponent gains 2 life, they go to 6. So we're still short of lethal. Clothis. Oh, yeah, if we had drawn like 1 or 2 more non-lands, this game would look so much differently. Verdant Catacombs. Because if you think about it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, 8 of 14, that is a super high land percentage. We got 23 lands in the deck, so. Opponent sees Pyromancer, turns on Clothis, draws some new cards. Whew. Boy, we made it close. We made it close both games, but could not quite close it out. Opponent is attacking. Yeah, we're gonna end up 1. Yeah, I think our best bet is to draw a card. Like, we don't win by keeping our creatures here. Opponent has a Fatal Push. Yeah, sure. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, we've seen that. Well, we were gonna draw some non-lands eventually. There they come. They were gonna come eventually, just a little bit too late. We needed a little bit better mix of drawing things like auras and priests and more Valkyries with all the lads. Oh. Well, next time. Alright, budget magic time. We are mulliganing an all-lander with Clerics in Modern, and, well, this will keep. We'll put a Caves of Koilos. Well, actually, you know what? I think we put Swamp to the bottom. Alright, well, I mean, we got life gain. We got Aura maybe eventually, but it is a few minutes away. See what our opponent's up to. Burn, please. Opponent. Snow-covered mountain. And Soulscar Mage. Well, ugh. Hopefully it's not Blitz. Burn is fine. Blitz is much less fine because Blitz means Lava Dart, and Lava Dart means all of our stuff dead. Well, Soul Warden. I mean, if our opponent's on Burn, hand is great. Well, gain some life. Pass the turn. New attacks. Opponent. Alright, red mana. That's good. That's not blue. Okay, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. It's not a lava dart, it's an actual burn spell. We will accept lightning bolts on our Soul's Attendants about it. I mean, eventually we should draw the lands for... Oh, they're trying to light up the stage. Yeah, I don't think we can chump. I guess we gotta let them do it. Opponent. Wow, no light up the stage. We hit the land. Well, go to combat. Attack ya. Down to 18. Soul Attendant. Gain some life. Pathway on black. Go. Well... We're a land away from Aura, and we can cast every non-Aura card in our deck, so we're not in the worst place at the moment. Opponent, land, and... Oh, Smuggler's Copter, interesting. Was not expecting Smuggler's Copter. Opponent passes. We draw. Well, pathway on white, Aura. All right, we're out of cards. We do need to find some action. We're gaining lots of life, but we're not actually putting forth any pressure at the moment. Yep, gain a bunch of life. And our opponent has Smuggler's Copter, so they're going to be able to loot for good cards. Yeah, I can't attack because there's a Soulscar Mage, which apparently our deck can't get through. Opponent untaps. Sunbaked Canyon. Righteous Valkyrie would be the best. About it. Magma Jet's a Soul Attendant. Okay. Yeah. Opponent attacks. Well, I mean, I guess we take it. Down to 24. Opponent passes. Well, go to combat. Attack. Opponent. Skull cracks. All right, we're pretty fine with that. So we don't gain life, but we still get to hit our opponent for a bunch. And yeah, I think we wait on this Archfiend's Vessel because it's going to gain us life next turn. Opponent down to 12. Finds a Monastery Schwiftspiel, which gains us some life. And, alright, gonna go looting. Gets in with the Smuggler's Copter, loots, discards a Lightning Bolt. Well, we'll take it. Down to 20. Down to 20. Opponent plays a land and 4 mana. Hazaret the Pervert has arrived. Okay, well, let's draw something. Land. Well, Archfiend's Vessel. Gain some life. Could really use a payoff, though. Concealed Courtyard. Go. Pass the turn. Opponent cracks the land, draws a card, plays a Soulscar Mage, gains us some life. Swift Spear gains us some life. That does turn off their Smuggler's Copter. Opponent attacks. Well, this is good because we actively want Archfiend's Vessel to die. Because if it dies, we can get it back as a 5/5 when Aura dies. Or we could draw Unearth. Oh, interesting. Well, Veto. That is a way to get through some damage. Drain you. Drain you. Down to 9. Oh, do we attack with Aura? We're going to trade it for a 1/1. What if our opponent doesn't attack? Yeah, I think we attack. We attack with Aura. This is going to put our opponent in top deck mode, essentially. Because it lets us get back Archfiend's Vessel as a 5/5 that triggers Soul Wardens. And then that 5/5, even if our opponent blocks it, as long as Veto stays alive, then we win. Oh, they're going to block with Copter? Wow, okay. That cannot be the best way of doing that. I mean, we are empty-handed. We got nothing going on. Our opponent, I'm so confused. Well, we will get back Archfiend's Vessel. Probably better known as a 5/5 demon. I guess our opponent's... I don't know what our opponent's hoping. Drain you. Oh, Vito's doing work. Drain you. And then this technically comes into play for a second. That goes away. Then the demon comes into play. Drain you. And this means our opponent can't play a creature. Or else they die to Vito. Opponent drew all the 1-drops too. Pass the turn. All right. You are going, opponent. What do you find? It better be good. I don't think there's any one card that gets them out of it, though. If they kill Veto, they lose to the demon. If they kill the demon, they lose to Veto. Rift Bolt on Veto. Sure. But now we just swing in with the flyer and our opponent dies. Yeah, I can't believe they didn't just, like, quadruple block with their 1/1s. We would have traded our Aura for a Swift Spear or something, but yeah, we'll dig it. Yeah, opponent realizes, scoops. So... we got tech, Battletide Alchemist in, Path in. We go down, maybe a Tabarax, maybe a Speaker of the Heavens, maybe one Unearth, and the other Speaker of the Heavens. Let's try it like that. That game we got a ton of life, but I think in general, probably going to be hard to stay above 27. I feel like our opponent can probably just use random burn spells to keep us below 27. I mean, that went well, though. That was not actually super close. And I guess even if our opponent had blocked the other way, I don't think it actually probably would have let them win. It probably would have bought him a turn because they could have chumped the demon with Smuggler's Copter, but honestly, they're probably not winning that either way. They're in They're in rough shape when we gain that amount of life. Well, we'll keep. We got life gain. We got Archfiends. Once we find a way to get them back, they'll be even sweeter. Opponent, Snow-Covered Mountain, and Soulscar Mage. Concealed Courtyard, and a Souls Attendant. Go. Opponent, Snow-Covered Mountain. Alright, I mean, that's fine. Lightning Bolt, Souls Attendant. I mean, that's still a bolt that's not going at our face, so. Opponent hits us. Down to 18. Well, play Concealed Courtyard. Play Soul Attendant. Play Archfiend's Vessel. Go. Back up to 19 for the moment. Pass the turn. Opponent. Let's see if they Rift Bolt Soul Attendant. Yup. Well, I mean, those Souls Attendants still gained us a ton of life by having those bolts not go at our phase. Opponent. Magma Jets our face. Okay. Whoa, we could use, like, an Aura. We could use Righteous Valkyrie. Opponent hits us. Yeah, down to 40. For now. Well, Concealed Courtyard. We could also use not drawing more lands. that is high on our list to stop drawing lands. Hit our opponent. 19. We go to 15. Archfiend's Vessel. Priest of Forgotten Gods. Go. No more lands, please. Please, please, please. I still think the Magic Gods should help out the Clerics. Like, that would be a flavor win. Opponent, Sudden Shock to kill the Priest. Okay. Land, 1 card in hand. Last card. Smuggler's Copter. Alright, non-lands. Non-lands, preferably top end of the curve stuff, but opponent hits us. Down to 12. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. No more lands. We draw. More lands. Alright, well, play the land, pass the turn. And I'll hit you past the turn. Ooh, but our opponent's got the Copter going, so they should be drawing good stuff, and, we're drawing opponent. Alright, suspends a Rift Bolt. Opponent has not been big on maximizing Smuggler Copter loot value, but maybe Rift Bolt's the best thing they can draw. Cruise the Copter. Gets in, hits us. Yeah, down to 11. We draw. Well, go to combat, attack, hit our opponent. Go back to 13. Play the planes. We're going to wait on this Soul Attendant because we know the Rift Bolt's coming. And we don't have a way to trigger it anyway. So let our opponent cast a Rift Bolt. Next turn, maybe we draw another non-land. Oh, imagine. And then we can gain some life right away. Opponent hits us to 10. Draws. Lightning Bolt hits us down to 7. Soulscar Mage hits us down to 4. We draw. Well, Archfiend's Vessel is a non-land. Not exactly a huge payoff, but it is a non-land, and non-lands are good. Gain a life. Hit ya. Gain 2 more life. Back up to 7. Opponent. I mean, hilariously, 3 Archfiend Vessels attacking does undo Smuggler's Copter attacks until our opponent finds a Skullcrack. Opponent, Copter, attacks. But our opponent's gonna have better draws than us, because they get to loot away dead lands. Yeah, loots away a dead land. Hits us. Down to 4. Passes. That's actually a pretty good draw here. That's actually a great draw here. So, go to combat. Attack with everything. Hit ya. To 9. We go to 7. Righteous Valkyrie. Back up to 8. And we actually get a legit blocker past the turn. Opponent taps. Okay. Let's keep drawing Clerics. Opponent, Cruise the Copter. I'm pretty sure we block here. Like, if our opponent ends up bolting our Valkyrie, I think that's still fine. Opponent, go loot away a dead land. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna block. Stay at 8. Opponent passes. Oh, wow, that's a great draw. Well, go to combat, attack you. Our opponents had to have drawn something, right? No? Oh, my goodness, up to 11. Valkyrie number 2, and our deck came through. Valkyrie number 2 gains us 5. And now I think this one's over. I mean, we're up to 16. We're up to 16! Cleric power! Opponent, Sunbait Canyon. Desperations. I mean, how are they going to 16 us? Well, we flooded out for a minute, but our deck came through at the end with those 2 Righteous Valkyries, and Righteous Valkyrie pretty good against Burn. Not bad at all. Opponent, Skull Cracks, a bit late to the party. Skullcrack would have been great for our opponent last turn. That would have saved them like 10 life or something. Swift Spear, yeah, but this looks like death to me. Like, how do 2 creatures stop a bunch of 1/1 Archfiend's Vessels? Wow, opponent's staying frisky. Sure. I guess the opponent's just sending a message on the way out the door. Yeah, you know what? Opponent, you can have your message. We will not even block. We will not even block. We go to 8. Yeah, a tap or scoop. And opponent scoops it up. All right. Well, not bad. Not bad for the good guys. Well, we'll take it. So what do we learn this week about budget clerics in Modern? And I think the biggest thing we learned is we're pretty good against burn decks. We played against Boros Burn and a burn-heavy mono-red aggro deck, and our deck felt really good in those matchups. We also beat Storm. We did lose to Judd and lost a really close match to Is It Blitz, which gives us a 3-2 record overall. And I think my overall feelings about the deck is Clerics actually felt really solid. I think that Clerics actually have potential in Modern. The biggest issue we had with the deck, honestly, was just kind of running clunky, where if we drew like 5, 6, 7, 8 lands, things went really poorly. We also had some games where we only draw like 1 or 2 lands. So mana issues were part of a problem. And on one hand, that's partly just Magic. Like Magic, you're going to have mana issues. On the other hand, I think some of the issues we had with flooding out can easily be fixed with adding just a tiny bit more to the budget. Like cards like, for example, Westville Abbey would be huge in this deck. It even makes it clear. Castle Lochwain, which we can't really support well because our dual lands are budget, so they're not swamps, so Castle Lochwain is going to come into play tapped all the time. But if we add like Godless Shrines in a more traditional mana base for Modern, Castle Lochwain would protect the flood out. Aghanim's Awaken, it would be insane in this deck in the mana base to get back our clerics we sacrifice. So I feel like the problems the deck had were not the deck not being powerful enough in general. Like, the deck felt really solid, and I'm actually really hyped about the potential of Clerics. The issues that we did have were just kind of like, yeah, we're playing budget mana, we don't have card draw lands in the mana base, so sometimes we'd flood out and things wouldn't go well, but the synergy of the deck was really amazing. We got some awesome veto wins, we got some sweet Righteous Valkyrie life gain wins. The deck just synergizes really well, and I think that's part of the power of Clerics. Like, even though we kind of have two distinct plans, like we talked about in the deck tech, where we have like life link, life gain shenanigans, and then we have sacrifice shenanigans, almost all the pieces interact in one way or another. So the deck is very synergistic, the tribe is very synergistic, and the issues that we did have in our bad games, I think could easily be solved, not even in like, okay, I'm a non-budget deck now, and I'm spending $1,000 to play Clerics or something, but I think if you could double the budget, like if you built a $200 build of Clerics, I think that $200 build of Clerics could probably mostly eliminate the flood out issues, which was one of our biggest issues in some of our matchups, just drawing too many lands, not having enough action. So I'm actually kind of high on Clerics, and I would not be surprised if we play some non-budget Clerics in the future, because I really like how the tribe works. I like the life gain stuff. I like the shenanigans with sacrifice stuff. So expect more Clerics, probably at a slightly higher budget in the future. But for now, I think it's a pretty realistic budget option for Modern. It's not insane. It's not the new tier 1 or anything, but you could definitely win games with Clerics. It has some great matchups. It struggles a little bit more against decks with lots of card advantage, lots of removal, as we saw against Jund. But really, Clerics are sweet, Clerics are powerful, they're going to keep getting better as we get more sets, and you add a tiny bit to the budget to improve the mana base, and Clerics might be a real deck. So anyway, that's been Modern Clerics. That's been our budget magic for this week. Thanks for watching, I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Did you enjoy today's Modern Budget Magic? Well, make sure to check out this week's Against the Odds, where we played an even crazier tribe in Modern with 5 color bears driven by the Bears of Littjara.